If you were coming here to Dijon, France, which neighborhood would be perfect for you to visit or even to live in?
The medieval charm of the historic center, the family-friendly streets of Montchapet, something with more modern amenities like what you can find in the Toison d'Or, something specifically for students. By the end of this tour, you'll have a better idea about the housing options and amenities in some of Dijon's great neighborhoods.
I'm Susie and I've lived here for almost 17 years now. Not only do I think it's great, but Dijon was also just named the best mid-sized city in France by a group of real estate experts.
First, to give you a little background, Dijon is the administrative capital of the region Bourgogne-Franche-Comté. It's an hour and 40 minutes by fast train, TGV, from Paris. The city itself has a population of about 160,000, making it the 17th biggest city in France. The larger area around Dijon is called Dijon Métropole, which contains Dijon and 23 surrounding communes. The city of Dijon is divided into separate neighborhoods, but unfortunately we don't have time to visit them all in this video, so I've just made a selection of 7 for you to visit during this video.
But before we get started, I wanted to mention this QR code or the link in the video description below that you can use to access the interactive map yourself if you want to explore the neighborhoods that I'm going to mention in this video on your own. Okay, we're going to start in the Centre-ville or the historic city center. If you're coming to Dijon for a short period of time, I would definitely recommend staying here. It's full of historic charm and has great walkability.
If you were to live or stay in this neighborhood, you'd likely be in an apartment building. Some have elevators, others, often the older buildings, have only stairs. Architectural styles range from half-timbered to Haussmann, with modern buildings also interspersed throughout the historic center, including office buildings, small and larger-scale modern apartment buildings, and hotels. From the historic city center, you can connect to other parts of the city through various transportation options, including the tram, which is so fast, efficient, comfortable, and relatively inexpensive, Cité, the free hop-on, hop-off shuttle bus that circles around the downtown area, public city buses, Vélodie, which is Dijon's bike share program, and Irène, which are public electric scooters that you can use by downloading an app onto your phone and activating the scooter from your phone. Many of these options are also available in other neighborhoods that we'll visit as well. Downtown offers rich cultural amenities like museums, such as this one, the Musée Mania, most of which are free, plus the main public market, restaurants, schools, and daycare facilities. Downtown, you'll find movie theaters, gyms, pharmacies, doctors, and dentist's office, essentially everything you'd expect in a vibrant downtown. The area also features lovely city parks, including the Jardin d'Arcy and the Jardin de l'Arquebuse, along with smaller, more intimate green spaces that you'll discover while exploring. Educational institutions at all levels are here in the downtown area: preschools, primary schools, middle schools, high schools, and even part of the big public university, the majority of which is located on a more modern campus just outside of the city center. I did spot a few for rent signs downtown as I was filming, but you won't see a lot of these in my video, even in the other neighborhoods, because I think the rental housing market is pretty tight these days. We'll talk more about the rental market a bit later. The Centre-ville is equally pleasant for visitors and residents alike. If you came to Dijon and never left the historic city center, I'm sure you would be entirely charmed by the city. But there's so much more. So let's move on to the next neighborhood.
Next, we'll visit the Toison d'Or neighborhood, which offers many modern housing options and excellent amenities.
This area features a large shopping center of the same name, excellent tram accessibility direct to downtown and onto the train station, beautiful parks, including this one that used to be an amusement park, actually, which I think is so funny. You really do feel like you're in an old amusement park when you're walking around, and a second beautiful park, including what is called the Japanese garden or the Jardin Japonais. I filmed this footage at the beginning of April, and just look at those cherry blossoms. This neighborhood has many offices, and most of the housing stock consists of modern apartment buildings that usually have elevators, sometimes underground parking, and often some type of outdoor space like a balcony or a terrace, or even sometimes a little privatized piece of yard, which I imagine is nice if you have a little dog or a little kid, or you just like to lounge around outside yourself sometimes. Some buildings even have shared pools, which you can spot if you look around on Google Maps. And there are many recent, almost suburban-style single-family homes that often have their own yards. In addition to preschools and primary schools, there are two big middle schools here, Clos de Pouilly, which has a special British section, plus the Collège Malraux, and the international high school Charles de Gaulle, which draws students not just from Dijon, but from the entire surrounding area as well. Very different from the historic city center, but much appreciated by people who live here. Now we're going to change gears a bit and head back closer to downtown again.
Montchapet and Victor Hugo make up one of Dijon's most sought-after neighborhoods. Probably because of the quality of the housing stock here and its relative accessibility to downtown.
This area features a mix of single-family homes, many built between 1900 and 1950, and more recent premium apartment buildings. We're not far from the train station here. You'll find private schools, public schools, doctor's offices, bakeries, and more, creating a real neighborhood feel. There's also the Carrière-Baquin Parc and some other playgrounds as well, which offer nice green space for residents. It's not accessible by the tram, but public buses do run here, and we're close enough that you could also walk or bike into the historic city center.
This is the Montmuzard neighborhood, which has great accessibility to downtown thanks to the tram, and also this lovely eco-quartier, and a nice selection of single-family homes as well.
If you're not familiar with the concept of an eco-quartier, it's a sustainable urban development that creates environmentally responsible neighborhoods by integrating green public practices, efficient resource management, reduced car dependency, and diverse housing options. This eco-quartier features a modern preschool and primary school and a community garden. This neighborhood also has a relatively new skate park, which is packed with skaters on nice days, and this brand new pump track, and it's close to both the university and the hospital. You'll notice new apartment buildings being constructed along the tram line in this neighborhood. The Tournier Bakery, which makes what we crowned as Dijon's best chocolate croissant, is located here as well. If you are planning on coming to Dijon, it's definitely worth it to make a trip out to Tournier to try their chocolate croissant. They are really amazing. And just a reminder, if you're enjoying this tour and you'd like to have your own access to an interactive map of the neighborhoods that we've been touring, you can use this QR code or click on the link in the description below.
Next, I want to show you the Maladière neighborhood with two notable eco-quartiers, Junot and Heudelet 26.
These two eco-quartiers are located between the city center and Toison, accessible on the tram line 2. The eco-quartier Junot features 660 housing units, 180 of which are public housing units. It includes a daycare center, a gym, and a library. Heudelet 26 has about 350 housing units, including some student housing options. This style of living really appeals to me personally. Modern buildings, locations close to the city center, yet still with decent amounts of green space. These are just a few examples. There are other eco-quartiers around town as well. One building I wanted to point out here in Heudelet 26 is a private residence for students. It's a privately run dorm and allows students from all over the world to reserve online. These are springing up all over the city and provide a housing alternative for students whose study programs don't offer housing or who don't want to go to the trouble of renting from a landlord or via a real estate agent. They offer built-in community spaces and on-site support services that private rentals generally lack, making them particularly valuable for international students seeking convenience and social connections. Outside the eco-quartier, this neighborhood also has some older buildings, newer, more modern buildings, and many single-family homes that make this a very sought-after area as well. This area also includes the Parc, offering residents easy access to even more green space.
Next, the Parc neighborhood offers a traditional residential feel with many gorgeous, elegant single-family homes alongside more modern, larger-scale apartment buildings.
With its beautiful tree-lined avenue called Les Allées du Parc, which is also known as the Cour Générale de Gaulle, this area features both stately single-family homes and contemporary buildings. It offers a quiet lifestyle with convenient bus access, but no tram access to the historic city center, and the amazing Piscine du Carrousel public pool where you can swim outdoors year-round. In summer, the pool is especially delightful with a splash pad, water slides, snack bar, and extensive lawn, perfect for spending the entire day. Another notable site in this neighborhood is the Parc de la Colombière, a 17th century park open since 1672 that features approximately 3,500 trees, animals, a ropes course, Roman ruins, a romantic gazebo, playgrounds, swings, and Rosalie, those pedal-powered quadricycles popular in French parks. You could easily bring a picnic and spend another whole day here during the warmer months. If you're visiting Dijon for a couple days and staying downtown, you could walk here easily and spend a lovely afternoon. As we were driving around, I even spotted an apartment for rent here as well.
Our final stop is the Cité de la Gastronomie and the new development around it.
The Cité Internationale de la Gastronomie et du Vin, International City of Gastronomy and Wine in Dijon, is a major cultural complex dedicated to celebrating French culinary traditions and Burgundy's wine heritage. It was built on a rehabilitated site of a former hospital. The Cité itself opened in 2022 after years of construction. I'm a little concerned because I've heard that some of the restaurants are struggling, so I'm not exactly sure what the future holds for the Cité. But in the meantime, there are often fun events happening, and you can take cooking classes or taste wine, and there's a brand new, very modern, comfortable movie theater here as well. The complex serves as both a tourist attraction and a neighborhood development. It's a great example of mixed-use urban planning. It has easy access to the train station, modern amenities including a gym and the cinema I mentioned, and integrates social housing, for example, in the Résidence des Lys. There is another private student residence here as well. Like I said, there are several of this type of student housing accommodations around town, so if it appeals to you, take a look online and you can compare your options. From here at the Cité de la Gastronomie, you can walk, jog, or bike along a car-free tree-lined pathway called the Promenade de l'Ouche, but known by locals as the Coulée Verte, a play on words with coulée, which can mean path or flow, so maybe best translated as greenway, along the Canal de Bourgogne, the Burgundy Canal, all the way to Lac Kier, Dijon's biggest body of water. Of course, you can just ride your bike to the Coulée Verte from any other neighborhood in Dijon, which is something that I do with my family occasionally. It is an absolutely lovely, shady, car-free path. And once you get to Lac Kier, you can go to a playground, get a drink, go for a bike ride, or check out Dijon's beach in the summer, Dijon Plage. Yes, people swim here. The lake is named after Chanoine Kier, a former mayor of Dijon, but if the name Kier sounds familiar, yes, it's also the name of the famous apéritif, a mix of crème de cassis, blackcurrant liqueur, and aligoté, a type of local white wine. Personally, I live sort of between the historic city center and Montmuzard, not too far from the Eco-quartier Heudelet 26. For me, everything that I need on a daily basis is really within walking, biking, or public transportation distance, including schools, doctors, banks, supermarkets, the post office, where I work, everything. I love my neighborhood for all of the amenities that it provides, but as you've seen by visiting the other neighborhoods, what we have here is not necessarily unique. In Dijon, so many of the other neighborhoods provide the same amenities, which make all of them really pleasant places to live. I think I could imagine myself living in any of the neighborhoods that we mentioned in this video. If you're looking for something to rent or to buy, but I assume that that's less likely right off the bat, I would check on Le Bon Coin or seloger.com, and you can search in Dijon and use one of the neighborhood names as a keyword, but be careful because the neighborhood names are not always consistently used in the listings or even by people who live here in Dijon, in fact. For example, my neighborhood is often referred to by one of the names of the major boulevards here, or by the name of the closest tram stop. And until I was doing the research for this video, I didn't even realize that our house was technically in the Maladière neighborhood on the city maps. Realistically, if you're considering a move to Dijon, I think you should come and line up a bunch of visits, visit a bunch of apartments, get the feel for the different neighborhoods, see what type of apartment you like, see what type of neighborhood really fits into your sort of lifestyle and what type of apartment fits into your budget, just to give you more of an idea of the lay of the land and what the housing stock here is like. I think it's important to consider what type of housing you're looking for, if you're looking for an apartment or a house, if you're looking for a place with outdoor space or not, if you're looking for parking or not, if you want to be close to public transportation, specifically if you want to be close to a tram stop, for example. And I think, of course, you'll need to consider your budget and then also other amenities, like if you would like to have access to an elevator, for example. And you'll need to consider whether you want to rent a furnished apartment or an unfurnished apartment. And then there will be the question of whether or not you would consider renting directly from a landlord or if you prefer to go through a real estate agent. But I think that it will kind of depend on the listings that you see. And if you see a listing that you like, I don't think that you should eliminate it just because it's rented out by an agency or not. But there will be more fees, I think, involved if you rent from a real estate agency as opposed to going directly through a private landlord. And also, there's so much more to Dijon than just the neighborhoods that I mentioned in this video. I just didn't have time to go over everything. So when you're here, if you do line up a visit that's not in one of the neighborhoods that I mentioned in this video, you should definitely go and check it out nonetheless, because there are so many other great neighborhoods in Dijon. I just didn't have time to go over everything today. Don't forget to click on the link below or scan the QR code to get your own access to the interactive map that I mentioned in this video. That way, if you do come to Dijon, you can use the map to explore the neighborhoods a little bit more on your own, or from wherever you happen to be in the world. Of course, you can just connect to the map and navigate around on Google Maps, and maybe it will give you more of an idea and a feeling of what the neighborhoods are like. I am hoping to make another video in the future where I go outside of Dijon and visit some of the villages that surround Dijon, either in the métropole or even a little bit further afield. So if there are some specific villages that you would like me to visit, definitely let me know in the comments below. And also subscribe if that's something that you're interested in, because you wouldn't want to miss that video as well. And if you want more information about Dijon, I will link right here to a playlist with more videos that may interest you. And if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, à bientôt!